Hi guys, how are you? My name is Marie. I have decided to do a few videos during the process while my husband and I are trying to conceive a baby. We have been, a little bit of a backstory, we've been together for 6.5 years, married for one, and we've been trying for a little bit over a year and a half. We started trying January of 2013. We tried for 3 months, nothing happened, so we put it on hold just because we were in the process of planning our wedding, and I really didn't want to add any more stress to all of that. We started again about 2 months to a month and a half before our wedding date, and we've been pretty much trying ever since then, which brings us to this video because we haven't been able to conceive a child. Um, it's been quite something. It's been a learning process. You learn how to be patient and how to deal with frustration and how to deal with sadness and how to deal with being happy because you think you're pregnant this month and then surprise, it doesn't happen. Um, so yeah. Other than that, baby fever, it's been full blown in this house for quite some months. At first, I wasn't really feeling it, but now it has kicked in. You know, being surrounded by friends that are pregnant or having babies, and half of my coworkers are either pregnant or they just gave birth to babies, and then I babysit on the side. It's just too many babies. You can't help it. Um, Situations like this, they take you either two ways. Either you go through the lane where it's like, oh my god, no more kids, or I want a baby so bad. So that's where I am, and that's where we are. Um, my husband doesn't have any children of his own. I have one kid. She is 10 years old. So she's ready. She's ready for a brother, a little sister. Every now and then she cries because she feels it's not going to happen. Um, my husband, he tries to play it off, every time that he sees that I got my period again. But you can read it. You can read it on his face how sad he gets. It has gotten to the point where I don't even tell him anymore. Like, I just don't. I'd rather not. I'd rather not see his face, but he knows. You can tell. Um, so because of that, we decided that if we hit the year and a half mark that we were going to get ourselves checked, just because we we wanted to make sure that nothing was wrong. People tell you, oh, don't worry about it, you guys are young, you guys are healthy, it's just because you're stressing about it and you're thinking about it, that's why it hasn't happened. In some cases that is true, but there are some other cases that's not the case, which is our case. So we decided to go ahead and still get checked. So, to my surprise, I came out completely clean. I did my pap smear, which came out good. I did some other testing that day, and they came out good. I also did some labs where they check for my thyroid, my hormones, my egg release, and a bunch of other stuff. All that came out good. I also did an ultrasound that day, and I had no cyst. I Everything looked good in my uterus, and I had a few follicles that day that looked good. So to my surprise, everything came out good. I thought that for sure it was going to be me, like I had PCOS or something. I thought that it was something. So um, when that happened, it was good, but at the same time, not to be like a negative Nancy or anything, it was it was kind of, it added like stress, I guess you could say, because like I said, not to be like a negative Nancy, but I was hoping for something bad to show through those tests, so that way we could be like, oh, so that's why, you know. But when you have nothing to blame for what's going on, it sucks. It like really sucks. It's like, then what the hell is going on? So in that process, my husband went and submitted a semen sample at the hospital, which they check in like 4 different categories. And I really don't know their technical names, but I'll give you an idea of what they look for. So they check for the amount of sperm, how healthy it is, the shape of the sperm, and how they move. So for his amount and how healthy, he came out good. Great. Now for the shape, his morphology, he came out a little under. Let's say that they look for a 50 to, yeah, 50 to 55. Just put, 50, let's say 50. Okay, 50. He came out at a 46, which is not bad. But now for his mobility, which is how they move, he came out very low that day. He got from a 50, he got a 32. So that means that only 32% of his sperm actually moves the right direction. The rest either stays there or just goes around in circles. Drunken little sperm. Um, but you don't know. We don't know if it was just a bad sample that he gave that day, or if this is why we haven't been able to get pregnant. We talked to the doctor. We asked her if there was anything that we could do for him to trigger more mobility in his sperm. She pretty much said that no, that it is what it is. Um, so, but that we could still get pregnant naturally if we wanted to. We just had to wait. There's really no saying into how soon could it be. It could happen next month. It could happen years from now. Um, if that's what's triggering us not getting pregnant. So, with that being said, we also discuss some other options, which brings us to an IUI, which is an intrauterine insemination, and an IVF, which is an in vitro. So just for cost-friendly purposes, we decided that if we were going to go through this route of insemination, we will do the IUI. She did said that because we were considering doing an IUI, that she will recommend, but it's not mandatory for us to do an HSG test, which is spelled so crazy. I mean, yeah, I'll show you, because the girls at the hospital, they kept thinking that I was talking about a pregnancy test. So hysterosalpingogram, something like that. HSG test, which pretty much consists of putting dye inside your uterus and doing an x-ray, and then if that dye goes through your uterus and your tubes, then you're good to go. But if it doesn't, then you have some type of blockage or something is going on inside your uterus that's preventing things to go the right way. Which could be something that's going on with me, because just an ultrasound is not gonna see that. So that is a pricey procedure. It's gonna run us about $1,000, probably a little bit more, because hospitals, you never really know what you're gonna get. And since at least our health insurance, they don't cover any fertility treatments, everything is out of pocket. So wah wah, that sucks. So yeah, just because of that, we had decided to put it on hold for a little longer. But then everything kind of changed last minute. We were at the hospital talking about the bills that I have gotten from the prior, checkups that we were doing, and we found out that the reason why my first sonogram was so pricey, it was because we had to meet our deductible. So since we paid it, we shouldn't be charged for a deductible again until next year. So I asked my husband what did he wanted to do with this information. Since we had already paid our deductible, we still had 2 months where our sonograms would be a little cheaper, instead of having to pay another $500 for the deductible again. And we can try for 2 months, and then, or just let it be until next year. So him and his baby fever said that he wanted to try it. He wanted to start. So luckily I was on my second day of my period, and I went to the hospital. I went to the gynecologist's office and talked to the nurse and told her that we wanted to do an HSG, and that I was on the second day of my cycle, And let me tell you, I have lucked out so much. Everything has been like falling into place so smoothly and in such a nice way that it just has me so excited. Okay, where I live, it is absolutely so hard for you to get a doctor's appointment in like a week from now. It is almost impossible. When I wanted to get myself checked, I was calling gynecologists all over town, and absolutely none of them could see me. Like, I called at the beginning of September, and none of them can see me until the first week of November. Yeah. So that gives you an idea of how lucky the situation this week has been going for me. So we went Monday. We're talking at the hospital about the bills. We left from there, went to my gynecologist's office, talked to the nurse. They had an open spot for this upcoming Tuesday, November 11th, which is great because I am on the 10th day of my cycle and I am off from work, so I don't have to stress about work because I'm off. So that worked out great. Now, the next thing is because I told her I wanted to do an IUI, she said that I needed to be on medication between the third and fifth day of my cycle, so I needed to schedule an appointment with my gynecologist to discuss that. I was on the second day of my cycle that day. So that stressed me out. I was like, oh my god, this is not going to work. They're not going to be able to see me, and I'm going to have to wait until December, which is pointless. So I talked to the girls. Somebody had canceled an appointment for today, which is Thursday, November 6th, and it is day 5 of my cycle. So I was still in that time frame where I could start my medication. So I am going to start with Clomid, which is on the lowest dose, which is 50 milligrams of Clomid for 5 days. And I believe we're going to do a trigger shot, Ovidrel. Yeah, I think that's the name of it. Um, before my insemination. And today, talking with my doctor, she said that since I'm going to start Clomid, I need to come again the day after my HSG, which is Wednesday, to check on my follicles to see if I have a mature one. And if I do, we're going to go ahead with the insemination between Thursday and Saturday of next week. So that is exciting. It's very exciting to know that probably in a week from now we might be parents. Which also also I had to go today and get another ultrasound just to check if I didn't have any new cysts or if anything changed from my prior one to this one before I started on my Clomid. Everything looked good. Everything was great. Um, I saw so many follicles, like so many follicles. Oh my god. It was absolutely amazing to see all those little tiny dots in both of my ovaries, not just one. I didn't have like one that was a stronger ovary. Both of them had so many follicles, which is absolutely great because that means the more follicles I have, the more chances I have to have a mature one for my insemination. Now that brings me to a little bit of a freaking out situation because I really don't know how all this works. I'm still pretty new, but following what I have read, and if you add 1 plus 1, the fact that I have so many follicles and the fact that I'm taking 2 fertility medication and Clomid and the shot, they are known to have a potential of getting pregnant with twins or multiples. Like you have about a 10% for twins and less than 1% for triplets or more, but there is still a chance. And the fact that I have so many follicles and I'm taking 2 of these medications, it freaks me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. That would be crazy to get pregnant with twins or even triplets. But hey, if it happens, it happens. We'll take it as they come. If we're pregnant with twins, it is what it is. If we are pregnant with triplets, it is what it is. We'll take the good with the scary. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna get the insemination going next week, as long as everything goes smoothly with my HSG and everything else, and that I have good follicles. Now, things that I am absolutely not looking forward are the side effects of the medication. They uh, they say that you can become dizzy and get nausea and get blurred vision, also get hot flashes and mood swings. So I'm not looking forward for those. Hopefully I won't get any. There's some girls that they never got any. There's some girls that they get them after they're done with their medication. So there's really not telling. And since I've never been on Clomid or anything else, well, I can't. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Hopefully it's nothing bad. At least I'm not gonna be working the 5 days that I'll be on Clomid. Hopefully that's good. Next thing I'm not looking forward is my HSG test. It doesn't matter how many videos I watch and what I read. Pretty much everybody says that it's a very painful procedure. Um, they make you. They actually, one of the things they told me is to take very strong ibuprofen before I go there. Um, I've seen a few videos where girls take even uh, not Xanax, but some other type of pill. I can't remember the name right now. Um, Before they take the freaking thing, and they're still on pain. So that's not very good. It's a little bit scary. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's just a little bit of discomfort, because I think you're there for a little bit over half an hour to the whole process. So that would suck. You know, you do a pap smear and you're like there for like 5 minutes and it hurts bad. So can you imagine for like half an hour have to go through that? That would suck so much. But hey, it is what it is, and it will all be worth it in the end. So that is pretty much it for all my rambling. I've been talking for about almost 18 minutes now. I thought I was gonna do this in 6, so sorry about that. If you're still watching, thank you so much for sticking around and listening to me. I really don't know anybody that has gone through this, so this is my outlet of keeping my friends and family on the loop, and maybe meeting somebody that's going through what I'm going, or maybe in a future they might go through what I've been through, and it will give them some peace of mind and hope that everything will work out at the end. So other than that, I will probably do another video next Tuesday after my HSG, just to let you guys know how that went and how painful it was. And then maybe next time after my IUI. So that is it from now. Thank you very much for watching. It's very nice to see you guys. Have a good night.